Hi guys, today's agenda is multiplying and dividing rational numbers. If you remember from last time, a rational number is any number that can be written as a fraction where a and b are integers and b cannot equal 0. So we're on page 24 in your ISN. Go ahead and watch the video on how to set up the multiplying and dividing foldables before you watch this video. I have a couple of notes on the side right over here, multiplying and dividing rational numbers. Whenever you're multiplying and dividing two numbers with the same signs, your answer is always going to be positive. Just like when we're multiplying and dividing integers, the same exact rules apply for rational numbers also. If you have two numbers with different signs, so you have a negative and a positive, or a positive and a negative, your answer is always going to be a negative number. We're on the multiplying foldable. Let's work on the decimals. So turn that over. We're on to example 2. Example 2 says negative 3.1 times negative 5.8. What's my answer? Well, go ahead and line it up vertically just because it's easier, and then start with the two rightmost numbers. 8 times 1 gives you 8. 8 times 3 is 24. 5 times 1 is 5. Remember to move over. 5 times 3 is 15. 8 plus 0 is 8. 5 plus 4 is 9. 5 plus 2 is 7. And 1 over here because we do have to add those numbers. And then you're going to move over 2 decimal places. 1, 2. So our final answer is 17.98. Let's review those signs again. Negative sign and a negative sign. So that means same signs, our answer is going to be a positive number. Example 8, multiplying fractions, 1/8 times negative 2/5. Remember, whenever you're multiplying fractions, you're just going to multiply straight across. You don't have to worry about the denominators. So 1 times 2 is 2, and 8 times 5 is 40. We have a positive number and a negative number. So remember, two different signs will give us a negative answer. 2 over 40, well, we can reduce that by dividing both the numerator and the denominator by 2. Negative 1/20 is our final answer. Negative 1 over 20. Now on to the mixed numbers. We have an integer multiplied by a mixed number. So whenever we're multiplying by integers or mixed numbers, guys, always turn them into improper fractions. It'll just make life that much easier. In order to turn an integer into a improper fraction, all you have to do is put it over 1 and then multiply that by, remember to multiply the denominator by the whole number, then add the numerator. So 5 times 3 is 15 plus 1 is 16 over 5. So multiply that by 16 over 5. Again, just multiply straight across. Don't have to worry about the denominators. That's only for adding and subtracting. So 16 times 2 is 32 over 5. It is an improper fraction, so we do need to turn that back into a mixed number by saying, by seeing how many times 5 goes into 32. Well, it goes into 32 6 times with a remainder of 2 over 5. And we do have a positive number multiplied by a positive number, so our answer is going to be a positive number. Okay. Now we're on to the division or dividing rational numbers foldable. On the left-hand side of that foldable, guys, we have some notes to take, so let's do that first. Things to remember, integer rules apply. That's the same rules, guys, same signs. Same signs equals a positive answer. Different signs equals a negative answer. Okay, and then the placement of negatives. With fractions, there's a few different ways of writing a negative fraction. You can have a fraction in the front after or with the fraction in a parentheses. That's going to be the same as having your negative sign in the center of your fraction, or same as having the negative sign on the numerator or having that negative sign with the denominator. However, you cannot write two negative signs, one with the numerator and one with the denominator, because remember, a fraction is division, right? You're dividing the numerator by the denominator. If you're doing that, you're dividing -3 by a -4. Well, when you're dividing a negative by a negative, your answer will always be a positive, and that is not true. This is a negative fraction, so make sure you never put two negative signs, one on top of the other, to represent a negative fraction, because that is not true. Okay, right up here, when dividing fractions, you're going to keep, change, then flip. What that means is you're always going to keep that first fraction the same, then change that division sign to a multiplication sign, and flip or take the reciprocal of the second fraction. So remember, that's when you take your numerator and put it in the denominator, and take your denominator and put it in the numerator. All integers and mixed numbers need to be written as, again, improper fractions. Just like with multiplication, same rules apply with division. Okay, so number 1 says 194.4 divided by 6. So how many times does 6 go into 1? Can't happen. 3 times 6 is 18. So we're going to subtract that, get 1, bring down that 4. 2 gives us 12. Subtract again, leaves us with 2, bring down that 4. However, don't forget to transfer that decimal point. 6 times 2 again, or sorry, 6 times 4. 6 times 4 gets us 24, which leaves us with a remainder of 0. So our final answer is 32.4, and we have two positive numbers. Positive divided by a positive gives us a positive answer. Now 5/9 divided by 3/2 over 3, not 3/2, 2/3. Remember, we're going to keep, change, flip this. So keep, change, and flip. So keep that first fraction the same. So 5/9. Change that division to a multiplication, and then flip this last fraction, or take the reciprocal, which will give us 3/2. And then now it's a multiplication problem, so you just multiply straight across. 5 times 3 is 15. 9 times 2 is 18. You can divide both 15 and 18 by 3 to get 5/6. So my final answer is 5/6. And remember, this is a positive divided by a positive, so my answer is going to be a positive 5/6. Okay, last example. A mixed number divided by a mixed number. First thing you're going to do when dividing mixed numbers, guys, is turn that mixed number into an improper fraction by multiplying the denominator by the whole number, then add the numerator. Do that to both of these mixed numbers. So 5 times 3 is 15 plus 1 is 16 over 3 divided by negative 2 times 1 is 2 plus 1 is 3 over 2. Turn them into improper fractions before you apply the keep, change, flip rule, because you can't really flip or a mixed number. Now you're going to take 16 over 3 because we keep that, change that division to a multiplication, and flip or take the reciprocal of that second fraction, so 2/3. Now go ahead and multiply straight across. 16 times 2 is 32. 3 times 3 is 9. We have a positive fraction multiplied by a negative fraction, so our final answer is going to be a negative number. But we do have an improper fraction, so we are going to divide 32 by 9. That gives us 3. With a remainder of 5 over 9, and that is a negative 3 and 5/9. Okay, go ahead and do the rest of the problems on this page, and then you're actually going to do this puzzle on page 25. I don't have a video of how to set up this page, but again, it's a puzzle page just like we did on page 15, where we had the answer sheet just glued on this one little strip, so you can flip it over and have your puzzle on this area. Again, remember, if the puzzle goes off the page, just fold it over, or you guys came up with some creative solutions to that. So good luck, and let me know if you have any questions. Bye-bye.